Now, you don't have to know much about rugby union to know the game is in more strife than most other sporting codes in this country, and was so long before the coronavirus struck. Poor crowds, poor television audiences, unresolved television rights issues, and the Wallabies underperforming on the international stage, most notably at the World Cup. And then there was the Israel Folau saga that saw Rugby Australia dump its best player over his fundamentalist Christian Instagram posts. The ensuing controversy was debilitating, and the eventual payout hit Rugby Australia's finances, as CEO Raelene Castle noted last year.
I certainly believe that this is money that we could be spending on the rugby community, and that's disappointing. Every dollar that we spend on legal fees is a dollar that we don't spend in the community. So, that is the reality. But what I'd say is that Israel also knew the implications.
In recent weeks, with games suspended and the pandemic creating especially difficult problems for an international competition, Castle was still trying to find a way through. Here she was just a couple of days ago.
What I'll say is there's not a sport in the world that's not facing really difficult times at the moment, and we have to think differently, and we have to go about our work differently, and we have to be open-minded to new things and new change.
But Castle was under siege in the rugby community, with commentators and administrators frustrated with the game's performance. Former Wallabies were penning an open letter demanding a shake-up at the top. And the timing of this latest revelation last weekend, in the middle of the crisis, was telling.
Well, Rugby now, on a day where she's pushing for a 65% pay cut from players. Rugby Australia Chief Executive Raelene Castle has been linked to a bonus to her own annual salary.
Eek. And in a fairly unsurprising announcement yesterday, Castle resigned, saying the board wanted a fresh start. But forget about money, forget about television rights, crowds, audiences, or even on-field performances. I've been surprised to learn from the ABC that this resignation was actually about identity politics. And no, not the identity politics that saw the demise of Israel Folau. Apparently, it was identity that helped take down Castle herself.
Do you have any sense that you're attracting criticism because you're perceived as an outsider, a Kiwi and a woman running a sport whose biggest names are privileged, middle-aged Australian blokes?
I don't really think about it like that, Lee.
Yeah, Castle, to her credit, didn't buy into this argument, but on ABC Radio this morning, a big, middle-aged, white, former rugby-playing bloke went down the same path.
There are a lot of people who either whispered it or one or two said it to me out loud. You can't have a woman running rugby. Now, there was that kind of antediluvian view.
So sorry, that's been said to you.
Of course, it's been said to me, but it's that. I mean, I'm in the rugby community. There are people that take that view. I dare say there are people that say that about Ita Buttrose running the ABC, and they're wrong. It's anytime a woman takes a powerful position, there's always a kickback against that.
So there you have it. So many issues, so many problems, so many challenges for rugby, but it's all about gender, apparently. Presumably, if a bloke was running the game and it booted his best player out of the competition, made a multi-million-dollar loss, didn't perform on the field, lost crowds and television audiences, then no one would care, and the bloke in charge would have the job for life. Give me a break. Give the identity politics a rest.